Hello, this screencast is a submission for the Gopher Gala in 2015. We're participating from Washington, D.C. and San Francisco in the USA. Bron means source in Dutch, which was inspired by a recent trip to DockerCon EU in Amsterdam. Bron applies simple but meaningful analytics to your Git repository and provides the data output in a useful visualization via Blest. During this weekend hackathon, we learned about Go data structures, channels, and routines, and learned that we have a lot more to learn there. To start off, we're going to run an analysis of a repository for a project that we worked on in the past called Dockerana. We're going to run it through Docker as well. So we're going to just fire it off here. We're going to pull it down from the Docker hub, and we're going to set our verbose to be true, so it's interesting. And the F means to force it to repull all the data, and you can specify a repository that lives on GitHub. We're going to adjust that to also allow for local repositories or other sites that host Git repositories, but this seemed to be a pretty low common denominator for everybody to be using. And we're going to specify that the visualization flag is true so that it will output a nice visualization at the end. And while this runs, it's going to pull down all of the commits over time for the entire repository, analyze all the files for them, and give us a bunch of nice little graphs and numbers on them. This geometry is not really optimal. It's a little bit small, but we wanted to make the font large for the video, but you can see there's a lot of data there. I'm going to switch to the output from another project that has a little bit more data and resize the screen so that you can see that. And as you can see, the font's a little bit small, so you might want to check this out on a bigger monitor or run it yourself against a repository of your choice. But you can see lots of interesting data here. We have a number of languages, number of lines of code, lines per language, automatically detected, number of authors over time, number of commits per author, and number of files. Part of the goals we had in this project were to make it so that adding new languages was really easy. We have a very simple template markup language that's in there, so you can specify things like comments, things like that. We wanted to make it so that we could do more analysis over time, like what's the average length of a function, or how much of the code is comments or documentation versus actual code, that sort of thing. The other goal was to make it so that people could add their own filters or things that they wanted to add. And that's a little bit of a work in progress, but it generally works. A couple things we learned is that you're going to need a lot of disk space if you're doing the repository analysis like this. As a classic demo, things blew up periodically. But that's about it, and you can check us out on GitHub. We're at Gopher Gala /Bron, and please feel free to check out our project, send us pull requests, etc. Thank you.